So for your examination, you're going to need both a body of knowledge as well as an understanding of practical application, which CISA refers to as tasks from an audit perspective. So in our reviews, we're going to go over the major themes associated with the lesson as well as 4 questions. And those 4 questions are designed to help you self-assess the competency with lesson topics. Lesson 1 began with a foundational knowledge of understanding basic audit concepts and terminology. Matter of fact, we started with what's defining an IS audit. Then we looked at what IS is and what IT is, and we defined terms like audit universe and audit scope and audit objectives, really setting, again, the foundation for everything else that we're going to be studying. From there, we looked at audit and assurance standards and guidelines, and hopefully you became more familiar with supporting resources that are available to you. We then examined the relationship between audit and risk, which is an essential relationship. Level of risk really drives our audit scope. It also drives the audit methodology. And then we ended the lesson with discussing control objectives, classifications, and implementations. So why we have controls and what we expect them to do. Classifications such as preventative, detective, corrective, and recovery, and implementations of administrative, technical, and physical. So let's go through 4 questions. Again, these questions aren't designed to be inclusive of everything that we've done in the lesson, but really just to help you self-assess how comfortable you are with the broad array of topics that we covered in Lesson 1. So our first question, this is a high-level description of audit work. Your options are A, an audit charter, B, an audit universe, C, audit objectives, or D, audit plan. So take a second and choose your answer. Well, D, audit plan, is the correct answer. An audit plan is a high-level description of audit work. The audit charter is a document that confers authority on the audit function. Now, that audit charter should be approved or authorized by the highest level in the organization, the board of directors preferably, if not executive management, and it codifies the audit function, audit purpose, audit authority, accountability, and lines of communication. The audit universe is all of the systems or all of the targets internal to the organization and in some cases external to the organization and third parties that may need to be audited. That entire group is referred to as our audit universe. And lastly, our audit objective is why we do an audit. Now, the objective could be for operational purposes, it could be for compliance purposes, it could be for security purposes, but it's the reason for conducting the audit. So audit charter, audit universe, audit objectives, and audit plan. So question 2. This audit objective pertains to compliance. Your option answers are A, meeting applicable laws and policies, B, achieving appropriate levels of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, C, realizing effectiveness and efficiency targets, and D, ensuring alignment with organizational objectives. So this audit objective pertains to compliance. Take a second, choose your answer, and then we'll go through it. Well, A is your correct answer. The audit objective that pertains to compliance is going to be, does this target meet applicable laws and policies? Is it in compliance with applicable laws and policies? What are these others? Well, B, achieving appropriate levels of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Our audit objective there would be security. C, realizing effectiveness and efficiency targets. Our audit objective there would be operational. And lastly, D, ensuring alignment with organizational objectives. Our audit objective there would have been alignment. So we have examples here of compliance, security, operational, and alignment audit objectives. In question 3, risk is best defined as, and our choices are, a potential danger, a weakness, a level of uncertainty, or magnitude of harm. So take a second, choose your answer. Your correct answer is C. risk is best defined as a level of uncertainty. Now, what do the other answers refer to? Well, a potential danger, we think of that as a threat. A weakness is what we refer to as a vulnerability. And magnitude of harm is one of the factors we use in determining the level of risk. So in this case, risk is best defined as a level of uncertainty is your best answer. And lastly, question 4. Segregation of duties is an example of what type of control implementation and classification. Again, both implementation and classification. So A, is segregation of duties a managerial control and with preventive and corrective control classification? Is it a logical implementation with preventative and corrective classification? Is it a physical implementation with corrective and recovery classification? Or is it an administrative implementation with preventative and detective classification? So here we're asking you both to recognize control implementation and control classifications, specifically in this question for segregation of duties. So take a second. Well, the correct answer is D. This is an administrative implementation. Administrative is also called managerial, but the purpose of segregation of duties is to prevent fraud and collusion. So it is a preventative control, but it can also function as a detective control to uncover or identify fraud or collusion or other nefarious activities. So we've just gone through 4 questions. By no means is this exhaustive of everything that you need to know in these lessons, but the questions are designed to help you understand, are you comfortable with your level of knowledge and competency across these topics? So that concludes Lesson 1.